As art continues to challenge societal norms and mindsets, a photo series that depicts the life and journey of a young black girl whose expectations and behaviors are already predetermined, illustrator and art director Rendani Nemakhavhani and photographer Kgomotso Tleane joined together to illustrate the life of Hani. Joining us on the show are Rendani and Kgomotso to talk us through their works and how we can access this work. Rendani and Kgomotso, pleasure to have you with us.
Thanks for having us.
Well, it's a new way of delivering art form and telling a story. And as we said before we started this interview, I was actually working my mind around it, that how do you follow a series, right? And where is this series? It's on the net?
Yeah.
Yes, so we have a blog called All Hail the Honey, and it's a Tumblr blog. So that's where the whole body of work sits right now. So what we do is we post the work in the form of chapters. So right now we're sitting on 4 chapters.
Yeah.
So if you go on the blog now and you've never seen the work before, you can follow the story from chapter 1 right through till chapter 4.
All right, and so it's both text and photography that tells the story.
Yes.
Now, how was the concept put together? And by the way, do you have a specific model that helps you tell the story, or you use different characters in the pictures?
Well, okay, so some time ago last year, because I illustrate, right? I was part of a group exhibition and I had a body of work that I wanted to display. And it was called The Honey Shall Govern, taken from the Freedom Charter, The People Shall Govern. So the illustration didn't work out as well as I had hoped it would. So then I had to redirect the narrative and tell it from like a different perspectives. Then I chose to look at photography instead. And so because I had been checking out Kgomotso's work online, and that's how I found out about his photography. And I really like the texture of his work and just how his work looks in general. Like, it's amazing. I contacted him and I told him about the idea, and then we started speaking about it, and then one day we just went out and we started shooting.
But was it a particular character you're looking for, or is just random? That's what I'm trying to establish.
Oh no, it was just like supposed to be based on a girl,
Yes.
and then the honey was born, you know. So it was a freestyle in the beginning because we were testing it out and trying it out. Yeah.
Okay, now, The Honey Shall Govern. What's the story behind it? What's the theory? And I want to talk about the photography in a moment.
Okay.
Well, it's mostly about power, you know.
Yes.
And the power that women have within society, within the world, without it having to be about feminism and like specific genre of categories, you know. So, and because also I'm interrogating my own power as a black woman especially, and the spaces that I navigate within, I just wanted to live almost like a double life in the series because I model in the series.
Okay.
Yeah. So we wanted to use other girls, but then like things weren't working out very well because of time mostly. And then we just ended up using me in the series. And I think that I've come to a point where I can interrogate myself as the protagonist in the series.
You know, the beauty about art is that the artist understands whatever they're imagining and creating. And you, the audience, you must figure out what's going on, I suppose, right? You say it's chapter 4, and yet would the person know what chapter 5 is likely to be all about and how it's going to be? But how do you capture these kinds of concepts in your pictures, like Kgomotso?
Okay, so basically, right before we go shoot, we come up with an idea or a theme for the chapter, because all the chapters have different themes.
Yes.
So we'd come up with like the main idea. Okay, this is the idea that we're supposed to go shoot. We'll go to because now it's set in our heads that we know we want this kind of a location. So we'd go there and shoot. After shooting, I edit the pictures and I give them to her. So what she does, she builds the story from the pictures. So basically the pictures tell the story. But the way we shoot the pictures, already we're shooting the pictures with the idea that we already have in our mind. So after that, I just give her the pictures after I edit them, then she lays them out and builds the story from there.
That's how you do it.
Yeah,
But then,
that's the process.
And then you probably then would have the people who follow the story of Honey having to stay with you on this journey. How do you keep them engaged?
I think because the first chapter was so strong, and it was very like captivating, and it was very confusing for a lot of people. You know, I think we always leave room for interrogation and suspense and just like being interested in what will come next, because you never know. Even we don't know what the next chapter will look like.
Exactly. You see,
Yeah.
this, and as I say, the mind works with some end in mind, right?
Yeah.
Now, if we don't know how it's going to end, how do we keep going with you?
I think from how it's been going, like it's been a lot of people can relate to it.
Yes.
So they know even if the following chapter is coming, it'll probably be something that they can relate to.
Okay.
Because what we do, we build like a suspense like the week before
Yes.
we release. So we'll probably drop like a teaser every day for this week,
Yes.
telling them that they must expect this chapter to be released the following week on these days.
And this journey has been going on for how long?
Since
November
November
last
last
year.
year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So basically, we do that. We just keep teasing them, like dropping teasers until we release the chapter. And so far, till the 4th chapter now, with all the chapters, people really engage with the chapters because they can relate to them.
Yeah.
Because the setting, mostly when we shoot, we go to the places that we are used to, the township, CBD, Joburg CBD. Those are spaces that people are used to. So we use those spaces within those pictures where Honey navigates these different spaces. Like the small elements that I think people, when they see these pictures, it reminds them of the places that they live in or where they grew up or like a lot of stuff. So I think that's how we keep them engaged to the whole
And
thing.
the amount of interest it has generated on the net, how many people following that?
It's been crazy. We can't keep total track because
Yeah.
not everyone is subscribed to the platform that we currently publish on. But we're sitting on quite like a few.
Now, for those who want to join in, should they go back to the earlier chapters, or is it possible to just drop in from now going forward? Or there's no other way? When you come to the site, you will have to go back to the first chapter.
Well, like each story is separate, but it's all one story. So if you want to understand chapter 3, for example, you need to go to the beginning of chapter 3 and see what chapter 3 is
Yes,
about
okay.
Yeah.
for it
Alright.
to make sense to you.
But again, I feel that each chapter can stand on its own still. So even if, let's say, you've only seen chapter 4,
Yeah.
you can still understand it within itself. But they do kind of like relate in some way, but they still are able to stand on their own.
All right. Well, so where do we go? Just to appreciate and make sure that we are part of the suspense.
You go to allhailthehoney.tumblr.com.
All?
Allhailthehoney.tumblr.com.
Okay, allhailthehoney.tumblr.com.
Yes.
And follow the lifetimes, trials, tribulations, successes, and joys of Honey. Pleasure to talk to you, Rendani.
Thank you for having
And
us.
pleasure to talk to you, Kgomotso. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having
and
us.
everything of the best. So,
Thank you.
what's the teaser? What's coming up next? Next chapter? Do you reveal? No reveal?
Well, for now, since chapter 4, we've been busy with other stuff. We're
Yeah.
busy with the Turban Art Fair. We're showing some of the work from the Honey there. We are currently working on a collab with a musician for a music video. So probably the chapter will come after that. Like the first chapter will come after all that has died down.
It's a turbine in Newtown.
Yeah, Turban Art Fair was a couple of weeks back. So
Okay.
we showed the work there.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, there's suspense for you. If you want to find out more, you go to allhailthehoney.tumblr.com.